Okay, hey everybody, this is the Pastime Paradise podcast. With Kahai.
Aldrine.
And Aaron.
Let's just jump right into it, I guess. I think a couple of weeks ago, or I'm not sure when this podcast will come out, but we mentioned doing a podcast based solely on drinks, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe to be more specific, caffeinated drinks or things that we actually make. So I know that I do coffee, and Aldrine, do you still do matcha like most days?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much every day still.
But you're getting into yerba mate, right?
Yeah. Well, trying to explore whatever my alternatives are, because that's still like my morning routine. But then like yerba, sometimes I'll make it in the afternoon if I need another kick, you know?
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Aaron? What's your like preferred, or what do you make most days?
Actually, most days I don't drink like a caffeinated drink. Maybe like just on certain days when I do feel like I really need it, I'll just go with I don't know, whatever is available. I don't really have a preference. I kind of switch between yerba or even just like regular black tea or green tea, but not matcha. Like I haven't really done like the powdered matcha like how Aldrine has done, but I'll just do like green tea. I'll do like a lot of that brown rice roasted green tea. What is it? Genmai cha. Just kind of like switch it up. I have a favorite. I can talk about that, but
do you want to just go for it then? Say what your favorite tea is, or what you found to be the best.
So like just based off of flavor, if I could drink it every day, I would. My wife's friend is from Japan, and I guess her family was visiting Kauai maybe about 5 or 6 years back, and she brought my wife, it's like a little tea canister. There were individual like bags of tea, and I found out what it was because like all the writing was in Japanese, so I didn't really know, but it turned out that it is hojicha, like a very specific type of hojicha from Maruhachi Tea Factory. So it comes in like this beautiful little canister that has like blossoms on the outside, and so it turns out that it's like ume tetra hojicha from this Maruhachi Tea Factory.
Sounds delish.
Hands down like the best tea that I've ever had. I guess it's considered like a flavored tea, but like naturally flavored. So I think I was rationing it at some point. Like I just made a cup or two with like the tea bag, and I was like, oh, this is really good. It started dwindling down, to the bottom of the can. I only had like 1 bag left. Maybe when I got to like 3 bags, I started like opening the tea bag and doing half portions,
Oh man.
Yeah, you can't really get it. There might be like 1 or 2 listed on eBay at any given time, but that's really the only way that you might catch it. I don't know if they ship directly from Japan. I guess there's ways that you can do it, like order it through like a forwarding service or something like that. I'm planning to go to Japan later this year, and so like that's kind of my first stop is finding a place. I mean, I think there's a factory and they have like a little gift shop there, but I think it's available at certain tea shops, like around Tokyo and stuff. So that's something that I'm gonna be looking out for.
He's gonna come back with an entire like luggage of it.
Yeah. Hojicha is kind of interesting just because it's not necessarily like the leaves, the tea leaves. It's more like the sticks. And so, yeah, I have gotten pretty high quality hojicha that's from Japan. There's places in Hawaii like Lupicia on Oahu. They sell like high quality teas from all over the place. And so I picked up some hojicha from Lupicia, and it's good. It's kind of like that flavor profile that I'm looking for, but it's not the exact flavor profile, with that ume type of flavor to it. Actually, that's what I'm drinking right now this morning. Is the hojicha from Lupicia.
Could you like infuse like a ume flavor into the Lupicia one?
I guess, but I don't know what I would do. It's like I did have like some dried ume from Japan. Like my parents went a couple years ago, and I did have some dried ume from Japan, and I just threw it in, and it was like so disappointing.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know exactly how what I would do to flavor it as ume.
Yeah.
So like like, it doesn't work. If you're thinking to just throw some dried ume or ume bits into your tea while you're infusing it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's probably like they infuse it during the roasting process or something, right? Like during the actual making of it. So
yeah, I don't know if they like powderize it and they add like a certain amount to it, or I'm not too sure what goes into that process, but the essence of ume is there.
It's kind of funny. Like, I was thinking while you were talking about it, if you just censor like words, like you censor tea, it really sounds like something explicit where it's like, yeah, I had to start rationing off my and you can import it, a certain way. It's like, oh yeah, it sounds like, what is this?
Yeah, I swear I'm not addicted.
Yeah. Is there a certain way though? Is there anything special you do for when you brew this tea or other teas?
No, I don't know. I was telling Aldrine a while ago that I'm actually not like very precise. I've never been precise about my brewing teas, which is a mistake. Like if you get into making tea, is like you should just follow the directions. Specific teas have specific temperatures for your brewing and brewing times, and so you should probably just follow that. But for me, when I'm running around getting all my stuff ready for the day, I usually just put a pot of water onto the stove and then just wait till it boils, and then I throw in the tea whenever I'm ready. and then I go and do other things, and then I take it off whenever I have the time. You really should be more precise than that. And then I told Aldrine that, like, oh man, recently I like took the time to look up the steeping times and temperatures for like the specific tea that I'm brewing for that day, and it came out really good. But I don't actually always do it that way. And he was like, duh.
So, who the thunk?
Yeah, that's why they have directions. Like, you should read them.
I used to do the same thing with Simon as a kid, or like cup noodles. Yeah. Like, I ain't waiting 3 minutes. Are you kidding me? 3 minutes?
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
I'll eat crunchy noodles in hot water.
You mean it's not supposed to be hard? So yeah, I guess I'm probably the least precise out of the three of us about my preparation for caffeinated beverages, but yeah.
But those ones are kind of forgiving though, like because hojicha, like, and all those kind of teas are already pre-roasted. Yeah, so you can go kind of hot on that.
Yeah, and I tend to like roasted, little bit more earthy types of teas anyway.
Is there teas that you think that you that you didn't enjoy, but maybe it might have been because you have to brew it a certain way?
I don't know. There were some teas that I picked up and then I tried it and it just didn't come out like how I thought that it was, that it should come out. And then I played around with different times and then I kind of dialed it in. But even that, because I'm so imprecise usually, I kind of tend to stray away from those teas if that's the case. If like being precise is a factor, I tend to not drink them as often. So
you gotta put some effort in it.
Yeah, I really like barley tea. And that corn silk tea from Korea, and like both of those is like it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You can just boil a pot, you can throw it in, you can leave it out as long as you want, and they'll come out pretty good. And those are non-caffeinated for anybody who is interested. So sometimes I'll mix teas too. Sometimes I'll throw to get the flavor of the barley, and then I'll just like throw in some whatever, just random black tea.
What a pioneer.
Get the caffeine. But yeah,
what's your favorite combination like that? I don't think I've ever done that. Now I'm interested.
Yeah, I like the flavor of barley tea, and so I'll do that with basically whatever I have on hand. So I've done barley yerba, I've done barley and plain black tea. Yeah, I've done some kind of weird ones that didn't turn out as good. Like I've done barley and Earl Grey, and either one is good by itself, but together they're not the greatest.
Oh man, barley tea, I think it was my first trip to Japan. I got it like in the bottle,
yes.
And I'm like, the hell is this? Because it kind of tastes like coffee. Yeah, it has kind of like a coffee-ish flavor to it.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, not if people are thinking coffee, it's not really
no,
that.
it's not.
But
It's not.
Yeah.
But it kind of has that roasted kind of flavor to it.
Yeah.
And when somebody's like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good. It's got no caffeine and whatever," I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is amazing." Because I'm pretty sensitive to some caffeines. And mugicha or barley tea was just something that they drank like in the summer and it's cold. I'm like, this is the best. I love this.
Yeah, it's one of those things that in Japan it's everywhere during the summer, and then
Yeah.
if it's not during the summer, it's a little harder to find. So like, because Japanese people just don't think to drink it any other time. But it's like, oh, this is delicious. Like, I want to get this all the time.
And same thing with corn silk tea, but in Korea.
Yeah.
In Korea, they have it like every summer, and it's like a cold tea. And same scenario, like somebody gave it to me, like, what the hell is this? Like, this tastes amazing. It tastes like popcorn. It's like popcorn coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like the best way I can describe it. Popcorn coffee. So if you guys like that kind of flavor profile, check out corn silk tea, because I'm pretty sure most people haven't had.
Yeah. So it's basically like the corn stalk has like those little hairs coming off of it. They take that and they roast it and then they make it into tea.
It's delicious.
I didn't think about it until right now, but you know, when they make mugicha in Japan, they brew it in the jug that they serve it from, right? And they just like let it steep in the actual cold water and they just put it in the fridge. And realizing now that might be what cold brew jugs started as. And I know there's one specific Japanese brand that made cold brew jugs for coffee, and I bought it and it works great, but it might have been like just that mugicha, and then they're like, oh yeah, you can make cold brew coffee with this.
Yeah. We already make this exact thing and we rebrand it, like for the Americans or for the world audience.
Because it's like where the filter and the bag that you use to steep it and everything, it just screws into the lid of the jug and you just dunk it into the water, you know, and put it in your fridge and you just let it sit overnight, and then you take that out and you throw away the coffee or the mugicha, and then you have your tea or your coffee. So I've bought mugicha before and I've made it myself, and only now am I realizing like, wait a minute, it's the same thing.
So you get like fresh mugicha from somewhere and then you just cold brew it that way?
Nah, I just bought like the store brand, like whatever was on Amazon, you know? And I made it a few times, but maybe it's because I don't really get energy from caffeine. I don't wake up from caffeine. But I am kind of addicted to caffeine, where I do get headaches if I don't drink it, you know, like at least sometime during the day.
Get the withdrawals.
Yeah. So with mugicha, is it no caffeine or is it low caffeine?
I don't think it's any caffeine.
Yeah.
I think like just kids drink that during the summertime.
Yeah. So like because of that, probably why I was like, I think I'm gonna go back to coffee now. You know, I need to get a little bit.
Yeah. So that mugicha from Japan, like what Aldrin was talking about, is like it's sold in a bottle and it's like a blue bottle. Yeah. It's a Itoen brand. And so they also sell the mugicha, like Itoen sells the bags. And I've found that if you brew it with the bag, it tastes different than if you brew it without the bag. So like I have like a whole bag of that, and I've been just ripping open the bag and then steeping the tea just by itself, because I noticed that the bag itself imparts a flavor that I don't really like. So
yeah, it does make a difference. Like I got some like tea bags that are like different kinds of materials. Like I bought a bunch of different tea bags and different kind of materials, and I got ones from Japan that feel like, they're not like silk, but like they're kind of that softer kind of material rather than the really thin paper.
yeah.
I think it's made by Keshi, whatever. Oh no, Rishi makes the kind of paper one. I found that like infused a little bit of that flavor into the tea. So I started using the kind of silk one from Japan. That works better because it doesn't imbue the flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most people might take Aaron's approach, where they're just like, yeah, I know it can taste good or it can have a better taste, but I also don't really have enough time in the morning, so I just brew it however is easiest for me, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's like coffee or tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For most people, they just want to like take the tea bag and then put it in hot water. You can still do that with loose leaf tea. You can buy the tea bags and just pour a tablespoon into the tea bag and then steep the tea like you would with normal tea. And then if you want to just take it a step further, you just control the temperature. But it's basically the same thing. So for those people who might be a little intimidated with loose leaf, because I know I was like when I first started, I'm like, do I just put it in and I strain it out? It's a lot of work. No, you can just put it in. Tea bags are super cheap, so you can get like tea bags.
Yeah. I think that's also the thing with coffee though, is like the people who say, I don't really like coffee. It's like probably because they drank the easiest way to brew coffee, which is like a black drip coffee, which, you know, some people do like that taste. Yeah. But if you don't like that taste and you just assume every coffee tastes that way, no, there's a way to make coffee not taste like that. And I know people will say like, oh yeah, I hate how coffee tastes, but I like tea, right? And there's ways to make coffee that tastes like tea, you know, that has like more general flavors or different flavors. And it's not just like that bitter, burnt kind of flavor either.
Yeah. But there's also teas that taste like coffee. So they have something for everybody. Kind of like mugi cha. Like if you're like a coffee person and you're trying to wean off, drinking mugi cha, I think is like the best way to do it.
I know there's like one YouTuber who he said that he tried coffee when he was like 14 or something, and then he asked the world barista champion to help him find a coffee that he would like. And so the guy went through the process of making different types of coffee, making different types of drinks for him, you know, to let him try it out and drink and stuff. But then even the first coffee that he just like sipped a little bit, he was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize coffee has this much flavor. I just thought it just tastes bitter, you know? So you gotta go a little bit out of your way. You can't just do the Mr. Coffee and the, what is it, like the cheapest roasted coffee.
Folgers.
Yeah. Or instant coffee too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you do those, they probably will taste that way. And even, you know, people are like, oh, what about Starbucks? Starbucks isn't bad, but it definitely has a certain flavor profile.
Yeah.
So I would just say, just go to like a coffee shop that doesn't seem to be doing, you know, just basic coffee. Maybe they even roast their own coffee, or they know the roaster who does it, and try coffee from there, because that'll probably give you the best experience, or give you a different flavor at least.
So tell us about your coffee, go ahead. Since we're talking about coffee now.
Oh, and do filters impart a flavor?
Yeah, do filters, there it is.
Yeah.
Nice little segue.
Yeah, that is actually a thing that coffee people are, it gets kind of crazy. And the consensus before was that you had to rinse your filter paper before you brewed your coffee to get the paper flavor out.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But now they said that most coffee filter paper manufacturers, it doesn't matter. You can start brewing without rinsing, or you can do whatever. So like if you want to filter or you want to rinse it before just to be safe, you can. But if you don't, it should be fine. But yeah, I brew espresso. I make espresso, but lately I've been making a lot of cold coffee, and it's not cold brew. It's a brewer called the Dripper, the Hario Dripper. It kind of steeps the coffee before you push a switch, and then it goes down. It looks like a pour over kind of, but I've been doing that with cold coffee, and you make it over ice and then you put it in the fridge. It's good because I can make it at night, and then I have coffee ready in the morning without having to make anything.
Nice. Oh, well, your old routine versus your new routine, like what's easier and what tastes better?
God,
I was trying to figure out how to ask that question.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit.
And it's hard because like I kind of want to say that the drip coffee, or like it's called immersion brewing, that coffee is easier to make, but I'm still like steeping it, or I'm letting it sit for 5 minutes, you know, and I gotta measure out everything and I have to time everything. I made it last night and I ended up spilling a bunch of coffee all over my counter. It's like, yeah, I just kind of messed up, or I just like tripped or something. But I just like that one because I can make it not necessarily when I need coffee, but I just keep it in the fridge for when I get that coffee craving, and then I pour myself a glass. And it's not like I need to wait for espresso. It's like at least 10 minutes if I can really go fast, but usually is like a 15-minute time to make everything. So
Nice. Because like I've had your coffee the regular way. I mean, that tastes delicious. So I'm like, is it better than that? Because I thought that was like some of the best cups that I've ever had.
yeah, I think it's pretty comparable. I think you got to get the right coffee for it. I mean, any coffee will taste okay, but specifically like kind of fruity. And I know they said Ethiopian coffee tastes really good with this brew style. If people are interested, it's how James Hoffman, he's that World Barista Championship I was talking about earlier. It's his kind of way of making cold coffee.
I've now found out that I like my sweetened and flavored whatever coffees cold. But if I'm gonna drink coffee hot, like I kind of just want mostly just black coffee. I don't know if it's like some switch that turned on when it turned 40 or 41, but like adding sweetened stuff and flavors to hot coffee doesn't really do anything for me anymore. I don't know why, but cold, like I feel like I can taste it more. Like any kind of flavoring or sweetening to it, you can appreciate it better cold. But then hot, I kind of want to taste the coffee flavor, and I think it's best when it's not messed with, you know? So for like a normal coffee person, say like I'm brewing coffee at home with my Mr. Coffee, with my Folgers, with my like cheapest whatever, what can I do to make that taste even just a little bit better, like 5-10% better than if I would just do everything normal, Kahai?
I was gonna say, like, just give up. That sounds like where you're not really thinking about the flavor of coffee, but you know, yeah.
Well, what's the first thing that you do to make a difference? Only because like, what if I'm the average coffee person, but then I'm scared to dive in? What's like the first thing that I can do that would make the biggest difference? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know, you said Folgers. It's like, that's the thing, is like you kind of have to get coffee that's not the base, you know, Folgers or whatever. It's hard because people don't, their eyes bulge out when they see like how much more you spend for coffee beans, freshly roasted coffee beans. And people don't have grinders either to grind their own coffee beans freshly. I think that will get you the most difference of flavor when you're looking at coffee.
Getting whole beans and grinding them.
Yeah, grinding it fresh. And people don't realize that too. Like they buy beans. I don't want to call anybody or say anything like any particular store, but I know stores will sell coffee beans and people buy it off the shelves and they're like, these are good, right? And the coffee bean won't say when it's roasted by. And sometimes they just say when the expiration date is. When I see that, I don't really trust it, because like those are coffee beans that they know are gonna sit on the shelves for a long time, and they want people to buy it thinking that it's like, oh, it's fresh enough, right? But ideally, you'd want coffee that's like roasted within at least a month, you know, if not sooner, at least a month.
What do you got against Walmart, bro?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
It takes a month to get here to Hawaii, so it's guaranteed not fresh.
Yeah, bro. What do you expect me to do, bro?
I think that's the thing too, is Costco has whole coffee beans, and the nice thing about Costco is they have a
grinder.
Yeah, in the front of the stores, right?
Yeah.
So you can try that out. Or I think some local roasters or local coffee shops, you can even ask them to grind your coffee beans for you if they sell the coffee beans. But I think that makes the biggest difference. First off, like if you never had like a freshly roasted, freshly ground coffee made like that, I think that'll change how it tastes the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if I'm just your average person or whatever, like I can go seek out where to get good coffee and then just have them grind it for me. Because I was thinking like what I thought you were suggesting is like get whole beans and then grind them. And I'm like, that's two different steps, you know what I mean? Like, so for like an average coffee drinker, I'm like, now I gotta get whole beans and I gotta go get a grinder, you know, like, and then I gotta do that. I gotta manually do it, you know. But I guess you can just go to like a roastery and get it like ground up right there when you buy it, and then you take it home and you make it like in your Mr. Coffee.
Yeah.
And it'll still taste better than that Folgers, right?
Yeah. And like when you make it, I don't know if you can open up Mr. Coffee while it's like dripping or stuff, but with the ground coffee, when it's fresh, it's actually supposed to let off gas. Like you should see it bubble too. And if you don't see that, usually means the coffee's old. So, you know, and I think people who haven't tried fresh coffee, they probably won't know that their coffee is stale. But after you've tried it fresh, there is a taste where it's like, this is kind of bitter and astringent in a way that's like not really pleasant. It's like, yeah, this isn't right.
Yeah, man. Because like good coffee for me, like, and I'm not like an aficionado or anything like that, but it tastes fruity. It actually tastes kind of sweet rather than bitter, and that's like what surprised me. I'm like, why does it taste like berries?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Because it is a berry.
Is coffee a berry?
Yeah. Why does it taste like berries?
Mind blown.
Why does it taste like beans? Like,
Yeah. They always say coffee beans.
yeah. Why didn't I didn't say coffee berry? You don't ground up the coffee berries.
Coffee that tastes more like berries is kind of like the coffee that tastes more like tea to me. And usually those are lighter roast coffees too, which I really like. But if that's not your style, even if you like bitter coffee,
Yeah.
like coffee that is roasted darker, that will taste more like chocolate, I think that's still better than, I don't know, if you get Folgers. But if I can't blame people though if they're waking up in the morning and all they are
That's the
thinking.
best part of waking up, guy.
Yeah.
It's in the slogan.
Yeah, they're I can't blame people for like, I just need to inject caffeine into my body, right? At Aaron's bachelor party, we were talking to our friend, and I was kind of surprised because he was a tea drinker before, and I was like, oh, you drink coffee now? And he's like, I got 2 kids, of course I drink coffee now. So it's like, okay, yeah. Some people, that is what they need. They just need the caffeine. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Audrey?
Well, my journey.
When I was a young man.
When I was a young man, I hated caffeine. No, I did actually. When I was young, I hated tea or coffee. My coffee definitely didn't like. But then again, I grew up in the Philippines, and my family just had either black or like with sugar and stuff. And it was fine. I guess with the milk, it's like it's a little bit more bearable, but didn't really like that. It wasn't until like when I moved here, and then they had Starbucks. I never had like actual Starbucks coffee until like when I went to Oahu for the first time, and I went to an actual Starbucks. I thought Starbucks was just like that glass frappuccino, because that's the one that first like went kind of worldwide, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I love like Starbucks. And they're like, what do you usually get? I'm like, what do you mean? I get Starbucks. That's the Starbucks. The Starbucks. Hello. No, but I wanted to share this one story about tea, because I'm a tea guy. I was asked by he's like a producer here on Kauai. His name is Art Umezu. So Art Umezu does this bridge between Japan and Kauai. We have like sister cities over there and stuff. So they came down. They were like the Tachibana band, like from Tachibana, Japan. He was kind of like hosting them and showing them around. And at the time, we were kind of working with Art as kind of a producer like to our band called Puating. And he went and asked me to pick up basically a case of like Itoen tea. And it was like the different kinds. There's a green one and there's a black one, like I was like, okay, right on. So I put it in my car. I'm like, let me try this out. So me and the Puating boys are like, dude, what the hell is this? Because on Kauai, we don't get that kind of stuff. Drank it for the first time. I'm like, the hell is this? This is like dirt. Like it doesn't taste good. And then like that night during the get together and the party and stuff, all the Tachibana students were drinking that. Like it was the best thing ever. I'm like, what the hell? Like I tasted this. Let me taste it cold. Maybe it'll be different, And I'm like, no, it's still trash. it's still
So
pretty
it's
bad.
like the bottled Itoen.
It was a can actually.
Oh, okay.
It was like the can Itoen. Yeah, so it's like there was a black one and there's a green one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
But it's like unsweetened.
yeah,
that's why.
it's unsweetened.
Yeah.
So I guess like I've really only had brisk,
Yeah.
Nestle brisk at that time. That was the only like tea that I've ever had. Oh, I guess like Snapple, like Snapple and Nestle brisk. And stuff. I'm like,
raspberry
what the hell
tea.
is it? Yeah.
Raspberry iced tea.
It's not the Aloha blue can with the lemon.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all grew up with in Hawaii.
So
and
right.
then it's like you go to the mainland and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get tea. I'll get iced tea. And it's like, this is horrible. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so I was cleaning up at that party, and I'm like, dude, they drank all of it. Like, they love this shit. Like, they fucking drank all of it, dude. And like me and the other Puating boys were like, I don't know what the hell that was. Like, all of us didn't like it, We're just we just didn't understand. And that was maybe like junior, senior year in high school. And then fast forward to like how many years later, I'm like, this is like how I brew mine, and this is the temperature. And so it's just kind of funny. That's one of my first experiences with real or quote unquote like better or good tea. Brisk doesn't count. Sorry for all of you folks who are like, I like Nestea brisk and whatever, and like in Snapple. They're delicious, okay, but they're more sugar than tea. is what it is, you know. Yeah, dude, I was obsessed with Arizona. That was basically water in my 409 apartment, and then we referred to water as base. So what really got me into like tea, like brewing tea, I went to Taiwan and we went on this thing. I wish I knew where it was and I wish I knew what it was called, but we went on kind of like a little food hike. It was like up a bunch of stairs and there's just a bunch of market and stalls and stuff like to the side, and you would eat as you kind of go up like these stairs, and it was a long walk. It took like maybe an hour, but then we were stopping along the way and eating like tiny like little bites and stuff. It was so cool. So shout out to Johnson and the Anuenue team for taking us on that like little tour, because at the end of that, like at the top of this like mountain thing that we were climbing, was like a little tea house, and at the tea house I was served the most delicious tea I've ever had. And this was in Taiwan, you know, like, so Taiwan and China makes like the best teas. They brought out this kind of bamboo box with like the cups and the different kind of things on it, and I learned how to appreciate the tea. So they poured the water onto the cups first, and it was in this box that kind of had not holes, I guess holes in it. So like they poured water over the cups, they could just pour it into the box.
It like drains into the box.
Yeah, it drains into the box,
to
basically.
keep the surface clear of water.
And I was like, oh, why are you doing that? I was like, why are you
just wasting water?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it helps us control the temperature when we brew the tea. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, you know, because, you know, you're not going to try to cook noodles in cold water and then wait till it boils, right? You put it when it's boiling. And then she poured it in this like tiny, long, kind of cylindrical ceramic cup thing, or like more like a shot. And then she put the cup on top of that shot, and then she flipped it. I'm like, now what are you doing? And it's like, oh, okay, watch. So she took the cylindrical thing off, and then it poured the tea into the cup. And then you would take that cylindrical kind of cup, and then you would smell it, because where the tea first goes in, the smell of the tea gets infused there. When you pour it in, the liquid comes out, and it just leaves it with the fragrance. And I was like, what the hell is this experience that I'm experiencing right now? So like I smelt it, I'm like, this smells flowery and amazing. It really like kind of got you pumped and hyped for the tea. So you finally drink the tea and it's like, this is delicious. They're like, oh, but that's not even the best cup yet, because that's the first pour. Here's the second pour. And I'm like, how the hell is this even better? You know, like, so I was just treated to this tea ceremony, and you know, I was surrounded by amazing people. There was Kalega Miao was there, if I could drop a couple names, Taimani Gardner, you know, Kias from Japan. I had my good friends around me that I was on tour with. I was up in this mountain, views were great, and then like I was having this most amazing tea. So I just like fell in love with that moment, that tea, and from then on I was kind of hooked. I was like, I want to take some tea from Taiwan home. And yeah, so I started doing that. When I came home, I started having like these tea parties at my house in Kapaa. Kind of. So I would get like a bunch of teas from wherever I would travel. I would be like, okay, cool, this tea and then this tea, and then I have like a palate cleanser. So I'll do like tea flights, and we would just get caffeinated and talk story and play video games, you know, like it was pretty awesome. So I got obsessed with it, and I started kind of deep diving into tea. So I first got into green tea, and then getting into matcha, because I was drinking so much green tea that the caffeine no longer, you know, I was just drinking like the entire pot, and it wasn't hitting me at all, I guess, at some point. And then I switched to matcha, and that's been holding me off. But even now, when I talk about doing matcha in the morning and then trying to like find something else in the afternoon to give me another kick, so it's like a drug addict like looking for the next, you know what? The tea from Taiwan was my gateway tea. Yeah, so matcha now for me is a process that I do every morning. I try to get good matcha as much as possible, but then things got super expensive because there was like a matcha shortage. So I missed the days of like a year or two ago where I could have like really high quality matcha for like a decent price. Before, it's like 100 grams little bag thing. I would get it from this place called Ipodo. I would get tea from there. And back then, the 100 grams bag was like 50 to 70 bucks. It depends if it was on sale, it was like $50, 70 bucks if it's not on sale. But that would last me like a month and a half, depends on, you know, like on how much matcha I would drink. So for 70 bucks, but you figure, you know, like it's very high quality, and it's like the best matcha that I could find. And that was like their most expensive one. It was like $50 to $70. There were cheaper ones for like $20, $30. I don't know. Like I tried those and they were fine, but there's definitely a difference between like the high quality one and the cheaper one. But the cheaper one is still better than, say, and I hate to knock on Itoen, but the Itoen one is your basic matcha. I mean, still delicious, but it can be better than that.
Isn't Itoen like the equivalent of Starbucks for like coffee?
Kind of,
It's
yeah, I
like,
guess so. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
But if you're a real green tea drinker or a real coffee drinker, those just don't cut it. Like, you're not going to get the flavors from that.
Well, when I was like into green tea, like Lupicia was also like one of the places that I would hit up all the time because it was the closest to us, you know, like, and they had like a Hawaii-based shop. So I would order a bunch of tea from there, and their gyokuro is actually really good. So if you're into green tea, one of the highest quality kind of green tea that you can get is called gyokuro, and I believe Lupicia has some of the best gyokuro that I've had, like that you can get easy kind, you know, like that you don't gotta go to Japan and go to a specialty store and stuff, because Ippudo also has gyokuro, but it's like stupid expensive now. So okay, going back to what I was talking about, $50 to $70 for like 100 grams. Now it's like $120 for like that same bag.
That's
dude.
crazy.
So I'm like, I don't know if I can spend that like every month or month and a half, you know, like $50 or whatever for caffeine. I was just talking to Heather that like when I used to go visit her when we were just dating, I would want like omiyage for her family. I would bring some, and my omiyage was koi coffee because they like everybody loves that stuff, you know. And koi coffee back in the day was like $3.50 for a bag. Now it's like $13, dude, at Walmart. Walmart is like $12-13 because I remember I would buy like the shit ton so that I could give it to anyone that I would see, and every time like, you know, me and Aaron would go on tour and stuff, like I'd buy some of that.
Yeah.
But now it's ridiculous, like $12.
Yeah, but I don't know. Last I heard, Kauai Coffee might be going out of business.
Oh, really?
They lost the lease to the plot of land that they grow coffee on. So I think they're trying to work it out, but it's kind of sad because they were the largest domestically grown coffee.
Yeah, in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we lose that, and you know, their coffee isn't bad. They kind of have like Hawaii-based flavored coffee, and I've sent it to friends and they really like it too. So
yeah, and I mean, like from what I heard back in the day, unless it says on the bag that it's 100% Kona coffee, if it's like 10% Kona, that 90% is most likely going to be Kauai coffee.
Yeah.
They mix it with that so that they can sell that Kona coffee at lower prices, but it still keeps that same quality though, and that's how good the quality of Kauai coffee is. But yeah, things are pricey. Sometimes I treat myself to like a good cup of matcha. Like I'll go buy not like the highest tier one, but it's like in the middle tier, but then like I make it last as long as possible. Now, for those of you folks who want to make matcha or tea last, put it in the freezer. It's probably like the weirdest thing, you know, but just trust me on this one. Like if you can't do that, put it in like a container that blocks any kind of sunlight. Put it in the fridge at the least, just a regular part of the fridge. But put it in the freezer if you can, because that'll really lock the flavor in.
yeah, I would freeze coffee beans too, but
Yeah.
it was taking up so much space that they're kind of like, you got to get these coffee beans out of here.
You need your own chest freezer for your room.
Yeah. He's one of my dad's chest freezers from when he was making shave ice. So
And the way that I brew mine, I'll make like a small pot of hot water. I would have 2 cups. I would have a teacup that I would drink from. Then I'd have like the matcha bowl. So I'll pour hot water in the cup and I pour hot water in the bowl. Doesn't matter if it's like the water boiled. I'm no longer like that controlling with the temperature, but if I want to make like the perfect cup of matcha, then I really try to control it. But for the most part, once it kind of boils, I stop it, I pour it into the cups, just the hot water into the cups. And then I swirl it around in the matcha bowl, then I toss that water out so that the bowl is warm now. You want the bowl to be warm, just like how I was talking about when the lady made tea for me, but then I wipe it off because I don't want the matcha powder when I sift it. That's another thing that I do. So I put the
Tea strainer.
yeah, the strainer. I put the strainer like on top of the bowl, and then I put about a tablespoon of matcha. It's a lot, about a tablespoon of matcha, and then I strain it into the bowl. And when it's strained into the bowl, I don't want the bowl to be wet. because there is going to be a few seconds before I can finish the straining process. And in that time, the powder can kind of clump up. So I wipe it down, but the bowl is still warm. So it keeps the temperature, but it doesn't make it clumpy. I take out the strainer, then pour the water in. So every time you transfer hot liquids from one container to the other, it always loses about 10 degrees. So when you pour it from when you boil the pot to the little teacup, and then from the little teacup to the hot matcha bowl, that is like, for me, I found the perfect temperature for matcha every time, unless like you really want it calculated, but you still gotta factor that in, the fact that it changes temperature from one container to another. And then once it's in there, then I take the whisk, and as an ukulele player, I feel like I have an advantage in this department because my wrist is very loose. I can strum super fast, and it's basically the same kind of like movement as strumming. The only difference is I kind of lift my elbow up, which you don't normally do that for ukulele, but my elbow goes up so that I can get the right angle to whisk the matcha. And then you would do it in like kind of a Z motion instead of just going back and forth. You'd kind of go like back and forth, but in a Z kind of way. I do it for about 20 seconds and then vigorous for about 20 seconds, but try not to touch the bottom because that'll ruin your whisker. You're whisking that for just count 20 seconds and then lift up a little bit and then do it for another 10 to 15 seconds to get rid of the big bubbles on top. And you'll have that picturesque, Instagram worthy, it's just flat green on top. At least aesthetically, I don't like seeing like big bubbles in my matcha, but when done exactly that is the best cup of matcha that you'll have. If you prepare it correctly, it's like, oh, this is the best. I have had Aaron come over and I've kind of shown him my whole process, and I actually gave you like the one that I was talking about, which is like the highest like matcha that they had. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I've only really had matcha where it was like at least slightly bitter, and this wasn't bitter at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has like a distinct flavor to it.
Yeah, it should kind of almost taste like umami. There's like almost like a like salty, and it's not salty, but like that kind of seaweed-ish like flavor to it. So for those of you who have not had like good quality, properly prepared matcha, because I don't want to knock on some people making it and stuff, because it is a thing, you know, it is a whole process. But sometimes people just pour water and then just start whisking and then give it to you. Like, and sometimes the water is like boiling hot lava because it's grounded up dried leaves, like dried tea leaves, and you grind it up.
Yeah, pretty easy to burn.
Yeah, it'll burn fast, man. So you kind of have to do it at a kind of a low temperature. When I had one of those like Zojirushi hot water makers where they go to a certain temperature and stuff, I think like 180 was the matcha temperature. There's a video that I watched that had a guy that was preparing matcha in all kinds of different temperatures. This is the guy that I was kind of watching that I kind of learned from. And I mean, I watched a bunch of people. I went to Japan and like asked a bunch of people how they did that. But one of the most helpful YouTube videos, and maybe I'll give you the link, guy, was this guy making matcha, and he kind of showed you like, well, this is what it looks like when you do it just cold. You know, this is what it looks like when you do it kind of hot. This is what it looks like when you do it like super boiling. And then he kind of teaches you and goes through the steps. But yeah, matcha is delicious, everybody. And same thing with coffee, where like it doesn't have to be bitter. Like, it doesn't just have to be like that kind of flavor. You know, a lot of people drink matcha latte, but try just a normal, just pure matcha, but when done correctly, it gives you the same benefits, and I think it tastes better just because it's a completely different experience. That the umami like that you get if you do it correctly.
Yeah,
I haven't found it in any other caffeinated drinks.
Yeah, I think like lattes or specialty drinks in coffee shops, I get them and I enjoy it, but it's kind of one note. A lot of times it's just kind of sweet, you know, with that like hint of coffee underneath it. And I think if you get really good coffee, it has like a bunch of flavors to it. It's like as you're drinking it, you get different flavors from like when you start drinking it to the end when it's just like it's gone already, but you kind of have like an aftertaste and it's like, oh, that's interesting. So I think if you can get people who can make it right, like both coffee and matcha, you can get that experience instead of, again, not knocking the people who get sweet drinks, but it's almost like, I don't really like the bitter drink, so I'm going to make it super sweet so I don't taste that.
Yeah.
In the first place, it doesn't have to be.
It's not supposed to be,
bitter.
Because I think for both coffee and tea, right, you need to nail the temperature at the right amount of time in order to extract the caffeine. But if you go either direction, it'll be like either too weak or too bitter.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty easy to nail the extraction and bitter. So just add sugar and then you're good, right?
Yeah.
But to get that sweet spot in the middle, it's pretty difficult. And so that's why you have like baristas and tea preparers, I guess, right? People who are like specialty, like tea makers, and they can do it perfect for you. But like if you're not good at that, then it's hard to nail. And like some people don't even realize that that sweet spot exists.
Yeah, I think I was showing my brother-in-law like how to make coffee in an espresso machine, telling him like, okay, I tried to get 18.5 grams of coffee into the portafilter, and I can just see it already like, this is too much for me. I don't want to measure this stuff out.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay.
I know. I was just like reading through this Hoffman method that you mentioned. It's like, oh, this guy, he's like a real one.
Yeah. You make a saline solution by you boil water and you put 2% salt into the water, and then you have to put it into an eye drop to add just 1 drop of saline into your coffee. Like even that, I just put salt in my coffee if I want that flavor. I just add a little pinch of salt, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's good enough for me. I was gonna ask Aldrine, do you think that the biggest mistake people make with matcha is they make the water too hot?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think with the temperature, that's what's gonna give out either the umami or like the bitter. Because I mean, I'd rather go like colder than hotter with matcha.
So you just boil your water, or you get your water boiling, and then you, by using the cups, you can kind of control the temperature?
Yeah, I boil the water. I don't wait until like a rolling boil or anything like that. Once I kind of start seeing bubbles, I eyeball it now. And it is like just slightly off, but you know, there's a lot of wiggle room actually, as long as it's just not boiling lava hot and you're just burning the tea leaves.
Yeah, I think coffee too. You know, there's like a 5, maybe even 10 degree wiggle room between that perfect spot. And as long as you kind of stay within that, might not taste like optimal if you're on the farther reaches of that. But if you're kind of in that area, it's like, it'll taste okay. It'll still taste pretty good.
Yeah, so I think everyone should try it. But then again, it is a lot to ask because you kind of need the whisk thing. If you get like just a generic plastic one, it doesn't do it that well. And you get kind of clumps. So to get like a good matcha whisk is already kind of pricey. It's like $20-$30 for like a good one. So you can probably get like a decent one for like $5-10, but that's still like, you know,
You can't use like a milk frother.
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah, no, don't do that. So the milk frother will just spin it around. It's not, you know, you're not whisking it into the thing, so don't do that. It won't froth.
It looks like all the pictures on Instagram. It looks so
No,
frothy
it doesn't.
and bubbly. It looks so good.
It's so flat looking, like you don't get the froth. And the froth, a lot of people think it's milk. It's not. It's just hot water and matcha. Like you can get that, and that's what I thought when I first started out, because I was not doing the whisking thing correctly. Because my friend Seth went to Japan and he brought back like a matcha thing for me, and I figured it's from Japan, right? But it came with one of those electric, you know, like frothers. And it was green to match the to match the matcha with, you know. And so I'm like, okay, it must be for matcha.
Red flag number 1.
So I used it, and the matcha itself was fine. I think the matcha like powder itself was like from Japan, but I don't know who packaged this thing and said like, here, you can try this. I'm like, don't ever do that. Don't ever tell other people to do that. Yeah, because I tried it. You know, I'm not like a matcha expert at that point, you know, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is not what it looks or tastes like.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as if like if I put matcha in hot water and I just grabbed like a spoon and just started like swirling it that way. It's the same thing.
Yeah, because they use that whisk too, the electric whisk, for like people make, here's how to make a latte at home without a espresso machine, or it's called a steam wand right on the side of the espresso machine.
Yeah.
But like when you steam milk, the point of the steam milk is that it's hot too. It's hot and it has a certain texture. And it's like you don't achieve that with the electric whisk. And steaming the milk is different from like boiling the milk and then using the steam wand to make it fluffy. It's like it's not gonna come out the same.
No.
It's like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not gonna come out the same.
But yeah, I highly recommend at least trying to make like a good cup of matcha.
I wanted to ask you too, Aldrin.
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of tea you first had in Taiwan?
It was probably, what is that? Because I'm so detached from like Chinese green tea. It's like super common.
Like oolong or?
Yeah, it was an oolong tea. It was definitely an oolong tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, it's not jasmine, it's something else. Yeah, oolong. Yeah, so it was like a regular oolong tea, but dude, it was delicious. You know? Speaking of Lupicia, like Lupicia has good oolong tea. I've had like their monkey picked oolong, it's what it's called. It's delicious. It's like the dried oolong that curls up and stuff, but like when you steep it, it straightens out. It's awesome. So Lupicia, if you guys want like good oolong that's like comparable to the one in Taiwan and China, Lupicia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we went to Korea, like the first time I went to Korea with you. One of the festival sponsors or like the event sponsors gave us this tin of like high quality vacuum packed oolong. And I remember him like giving it to us like it was like a flex. But like it was completely lost on us because neither of us were drinking oolong at that time.
Yeah.
But I remember, and it had like the Chinese characters on it. And then I brought it home, and then I think I looked it up later, and I was like, oh, this is kind of expensive oolong tea. But I remember seeing his face, him expecting us to be like, oh my gosh, you know?
Thank you
but
so
like we're
much.
completely lost on us, like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a trinket that he gave us.
I was kind of thinking of that too. It's like when you're talking about drinking the tea that Aldrin made for you. Is it like a dog with a diamond? It's like, it's so good, but it's just like, yummy tea.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't
Pearls
understand.
before swine.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know what
Like,
you
yeah.
have.
Well, at that point, like that particular tea that I made for Aaron is kind of like foolproof. Even if I made it terribly, like he would taste like a little bit of a difference.
yeah.
like,
It's not like
that,
the
you know?
green tea that I'm used to.
Yeah, and I knew it would be different and it would hit some way, but I tried to make it as best as I can, and I'm like, okay, well, I made it relatively decent, so it should be different than what he's used to having. But yeah, that like high quality one, like the expensive one from Ippudo, tastes like seaweed. It's so good. I mean, some people are like, ew, seaweed. Like, no, and like in the most delicious way. like people put seaweed and things to extract the umami flavor from it. It's like a matcha flavor, but then it's got like a deep umami to it, and it's not bitter, so it's delicious. I love
It's
that
hard
one.
to explain.
Yeah.
You just gotta try it. So
Let me look up like which one it is.
I don't know. For some people, it might be you'd have to go to like a traditional tea ceremony, right, to get that.
Yeah.
But you're saying that you can pick up small quantities, I guess.
Yeah, so you can buy it from Ippudo, and most of the time they're sold out, but you can get it. Oh, yo, it's gotten even more expensive. I
Oh my
just looked
gosh.
this now. Oh my god,
that's crazy.
Umon for 40 grams is $82.
Oh.
40 grams, $82. Okay, you can get the bag, 40-gram bag, same amount, $81. So you save $1. And Sayaka, the one that I did start getting instead, the 100-gram bag is now like $120. So that, what the heck?
Yeah.
We gotta figure out a way to
Get good tea for cheaper.
yeah. There's gotta be a way, right?
Right, dude. What? Because that umon is the one that I served you. Like, it is gonna taste delicious no matter what. So that's the best one if you guys are gonna try it out. If you want like the Aaron Nakamura experience umon, if you got the money for it, that's the one that I served him. Sayaka is the one that is just like an everyday kind of matcha, or the most like kind of common one without it being super duper cheap, because there's like a cheaper one than that, but Sayaka is like a nice good middle ground between the super fancy and not.
Yeah, I was gonna say some coffee things, or even I was gonna ask Aaron about some teas that he didn't mention. But yeah, maybe we can talk about other teas or coffees or things that we would recommend in the extended PP.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll share my Poo Air source.
Yeah,
in the-
yeah.
Oh.
I guess that's the one that I've been getting back into recently. But yeah, I'll talk about that in the extended PPPod.
So if you want to hear about that, you gotta join our Stranded.
So enticing.
I'm still on this website because I haven't been here in about like a year, or like half a year at least. There's an even more expensive one called Kanza.
Wow.
And it's $100 for 20 grams. 20 grams, $100. Damn, dude.
Wait, so how many cups of matcha are you making off of 20 grams?
You usually do 5 grams per per serving.
Oh.
That's 4, dude. That's $25 a cup right
Yeah,
there, you know? Like, hot damn. Like, I am shocked by these prices now. Like, I can't imagine paying that kind of price. So I love matcha and tea and stuff. I can't pay that. It's all these damn influencers, man. Because they're like, oh, look at my daily matcha. And Ippodo is like one of the best ones, yeah. So the bougie like influencers will get this one. But back in the day, they were pretty affordable. But now, like, it's like this bougie brand. Yeah, and they're gonna sweeten it up and milk it up anyway. And it's just like, dude, it tastes delicious without it. What are you doing? So for those of you folks who've listened to the pod from the beginning, you know how I feel about that. And that's why. It's because it's so pricey, it's so expensive, it's so precious. When you add something to it, like, it just negates all of that, you know? But I guess people are like, I don't like how it doesn't taste sweet.
Yeah. But I only add 1 pump of caramel syrup.
Oh my god. Ouch. Oh, you know, if I'm gonna spend, it's $25 cup, dude. I would be nervous preparing that, I think.
That's a little too real, Aaron. 1 pump of caramel syrup. I'm pretty sure I've heard influencers say that about coffee and about tea. It's like, damn.
If you guys want to hear more,
Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/PPPod, and join the Strand D tier. You can hear our extended PP, and you can hear these episodes 1 week early. But even if you go to our Patreon, you can join it for free, you know, and become a part of the community there. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.